All right, brethren, today we continue our journey of exploring Igbo cultural practices that are traceable in the Bible. Okay, so these practices are not coincidence, but as an ancient pattern preserved across time. So we are focusing on a topic about Levirate Marriage, known as Nkuchi or Ikuchi, depending on your dialect. For me, we call it Ikuchi. This is a tradition where brothers take responsibility for their deceased brother's wife. Okay, when their brother passed away, it is their responsibility to take care of the brother's wife if the brother has no children, specifically if the brother has no son. So to explore this, follow me to Genesis chapter 38 verses 8 to 12. Due to time, I'm not gonna read over it, but open your Bible and go through it. Okay, so in this version, after the death of Er is the son of Judah, the first son of Judah. Judah is the son of Jacob. Okay, so when he passed away, Judah, who happened to be his father, instructed his second son named Onam to take his brother's wife and raise offspring in his brother's name, because his brother died without a son or children. This instruction was not driven by desire, but by duty to preserve lineage, inheritance, and protection for the widow. However, the Bible tells us that Onan acted deceitfully. He enjoyed the privilege of the relationship but refused the responsibility attached to it. So this sin was not his sin was not pleased to God. As a result, God was displeased and Onan died as a consequence for his action. So this belief is in accordance with Deuteronomy chapter 25 verses 5 to 10 that says, if a brother or if brothers are living together and one of them dies without a son, his widow must not marry outside the family. His husband's brother or her husband's brother shall take care of her, marry her, and fulfill the duty of brother-in-law to her. So the first son she bears shall carry the name of her dead husband. So that was the law instituted in the Bible. Okay, so what the Bible recorded as law, Igbo culture preserves as practice. So in Igbo land, this responsibility is what is known as Ikuchi. Like I said, some says Nkuchi, some says Ikuchi. Again, it depends on your dialect. So Nkuchi is nothing but when a man dies, his lineage is not supposed to vanish. So a brother or a kinsman would take responsibility to ensure that the family keep moving. Okay, so children born under this arrangement were recognized as belonging to the deceased man and not the living man or the relative. So a clearer picture of what we're talking about is played out in the story of Ruth and Boaz. This can be found in Ruth chapter 4 verses 1 to 13, and there Boaz was not the closest relative to Ruth, but he stepped in as a kinsman, a redeemer, to play the role that is expected from the closest relative who declined to act as expected. So that made Boaz to make this statement in Ruth chapter 4 verse 10. Boaz clearly stated, I have acquired Ruth to maintain the name of the dead with his property, so that his name will not disappear. So this statement explains everything that relates to the culture and the instruction given by God. Okay. So notice something: when one kinsman declines responsibility, it is the duty of someone else close by to step in, and that was exactly what Boaz did in the time of Ruth. So that flexibility exists in the Igbo culture as well. So where Nkuchi responsibility could pass from one qualified relative to another. So when we look at all these biblical readings that we went through, we can see one theme that echoes in all of them. In Genesis chapter 38, verses 8 to 12, Deuteronomy chapter 25, verses 5 to 10, and Ruth chapter 4, verses 1 to 13. One thing remains consistent: name of the disease must be preserved, or even the family preserved. Kinsmen must take responsibility to ensure that that name continues to exist. And this same value governs Igbo society long before European invasion in Igbo land. Okay, so today, Nkuchi is far less common. Modern laws, education, and personal choices have reshaped how family functions in our present dispensation. So in most cases now, it is voluntary and not forceful, but the original principles remains historical intact. So when we examine Igbo culture closely, we are not looking at random tradition. We are seeing and we're looking at cultural memory, living evidence of God's covenant with his chosen, his elect, the Igbos. So the Bible review reveals the principle. Igbo culture reflects the practice, and history preserves connection. And this is how we come to practice this Nkuchi long time ago. God bless you as you listen, and if you have comment, opinion, drop your comment in this comment section. God bless you.